welcome to The Writer Chick with your host, Kay Nicole. So, if you notice it's so different, I decided at the last minute, I should try video. Because I don't know if y'all know, but Anchor is allowing people to do video podcasts now. And I'm like, okay, cool. I've talked about it before, but then I was like, I don't know how I want to do this. And I'm home alone now, and I was like, fuck it, let me try it. So this is where we're at. I don't know if this is going to work long term, but I was just like, let me see, try it out. And if you guys like it, great. I'll try to find a better setup. I'm in my kitchen right now, so if it looks whack, I apologize. But you can at least see the nice painting behind me, so yay. Also, these headphones do not belong to me. They belong to my mom. I've already talked about how bad my headphones look right now. The whole ear cup is terrible right now. Anyways, it's not the point. It's not the point. We're here for the episode, right? Because I'm assuming y'all read the title by now. So, yeah. If y'all enjoy this video thing, let me know. If not, I'll go back to audio because maybe you don't want to see me. That's okay. I'm not offended. But if you guys enjoy it, let me know. If not, I'll go back to my usual. But I just wanted to try something a little new today. But before we get into the episode, I'm just going to go through the usual. First off, you can donate to the podcast if you so choose to. I'm not going to break down your door if you don't. But if you want to give me a little extra money, go right ahead and just click the link down below. It's right there. So you can donate how much you want. I don't care. It's up to you. Number two. What is number two? What is number two? Follow me on Instagram. That's Kay the Writer. That's Kae the Writer. I'm telling you right now, you will see a lot of stuff that you're normally not going to see on here. So just please follow me. I'm on there all the time. 3, if you're a self-published author or you know somebody who is, feel free to sign up down below. I have it linked there. I will review your book for free on my blog. If you want podcast space, you can head over to the tab on there and then you can email me about anything you want. It's up to you. But yes, I am offering space on here. Number 4, I think I'm on 4. I might not be on 4, but whatever. Anyways, this podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and YouTube, although I don't update enough, but I'm going to try. So this might go up on YouTube. Not that people watch me on there anyway, but it's fine. I get it. You guys don't like me. It's fine. I promise I'm not crying every night. I'm joking. For real, I'm joking. I'm joking. For real. That is it, I do believe. I cannot think of anything else that I need to say. I probably forgot about something. There's a good chance. Oh, also, there will probably be language in this. So be prepared. I tell y'all every week, but I have to let y'all know because, I mean, if you got children around and I'm sitting here cussing up a storm, that's not going to be too good. So I'm just warning you now, there is some minor language ahead. So just be, mindful of that if you're going to play it near your kids. So, yeah. But anyways, we're not here for all that. We're here for the episode. Today's episode, in case you didn't read the title, is how hustle culture has stifled creativity. Hope y'all are ready for it. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. Now, to the people who are probably listening to this audio version of this, you probably don't even see it. But yeah, here's my phone. I'm looking at that. It's my script. So, yay. You can also just read the blog post if you don't want to hear me talk too much. That's fine too. But if you're interested, then, it's linked down below as well. But anyways, hustle culture. If you've been around long enough, you know that I've had this topic in the queue for a while, which I just stated. And this concept of hustle culture has taken over the world. And now we can't escape the posts that usually talk about the daily grind, hustling 24/7, or, tips on how to be more productive in your life. Or what was that trend I was seeing? The that girl trend, where it's like somebody's just overly productive all day long. I always thought that shit was BS, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. But anyways, as a creator myself, I feel like hustle culture actually stifles creativity. I know You think it would promote more of creativity because it allows us to create the reality we want. But to be quite honest with you, I feel like it does the complete opposite of that. And I feel like it's doing more harm than good. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, stick around. Okay, I'm about to get into it. So yay. I want to chit chat with y'all. But anyways, let's get into it. Apologies. If you hear my dog at any point, she's just being a nuisance. But anyways, what is hustle culture? We hear this term all the time, but I'm sure there are people who actually don't even know what it really is. And according to Google, because I have to cite my sources, you know, I am a college student. We can't be plagiarizing. Hustle culture is defined as a lifestyle where your career becomes more important than other aspects of your life. So becomes more important than maybe like your relationships, your hobbies, self-care, you know, normal human shit. Okay. So the question is how is hustle culture detrimental? Well, for one thing, rest is incredibly important. And rest should not be a reward for hard work. I heard this from somebody. I think it was this one YouTuber I watched. And she said that it's kind of changed my perspective on it. So I figured I should put it in here. It's something that you should do because it's necessary, not because you should reward yourself for working hard. So now I get to rest. No, that's not how it works. It's something you have to do. So like, it shouldn't be a reward. That's weird. And the thing is that hustle culture doesn't really promote that. It promotes overworking and constantly being on the go. And if you aren't being productive and using every spare hour of your day, then you're a failure and you're not going to achieve your goals, is essentially what it's telling you. If you aren't hustling hard enough, then that's a problem too. Then you're never going to really achieve what you want to achieve because you need to be on the grind 24/7, wake up at 6 a.m., take cold showers, and just stupid shit that like most people just don't have the time for or the energy to do consistently. And this is incredibly damaging to mental health because, you know, you start to force yourself to be more productive when your body is telling you like, hey sis, I need a minute, I need a break, like you need to chill out, what's going on? You know what I mean? And inevitably this is gonna lead to burnout, which I actually have a whole episode dedicated to that. You can find it. It's called How to Deal with Creative Burnout. And I have a blog post as well about it. It's the same thing. So if you're interested in reading that, you may. I feel like it would give you a lot more insight into burnout, and it might help you understand why hustle culture is kind of detrimental. So, tidbit. But I'm not really saying that hard work is a bad thing. It's not. I think you should work hard. I mean, how else are you going to achieve what the fuck you want to achieve if you don't work hard? I literally just talked about that in the last episode when I was reviewing a book, and that happened to be one of the concepts that came up. But when you start to feel this intense pressure to succeed based on what you're seeing online, and you start to dread something that you otherwise found a lot of joy in, then that's when it kind of becomes an issue. So that's where the problem comes into play. Water break, because my mouth is dry, but ASMR, which actually I hate ASMR. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I can't stand ASMR. Not at all. I don't want to hear your mouth noises. People are probably going to come for me for that, but it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. Anyways, that's not even the point of this, but I just had to say that. So what does hustle culture look like for creators? And I would say that for creators, this can actually manifest as the classic signs of burnout. Okay. So the thing is, it's like we're in a world full of comparisons, and we are constantly seeing other people's art and other people's success. And so it's really difficult to not compare yourself. And it's hard not to think about what you could be doing instead to achieve the same level of success. And that's where a lot of people probably start feeling like an imposter, which I also have a blog post about that and an episode about that. So feel free to check them out. But that's where people start feeling like an imposter. That's where people start getting burnt out because they're trying to keep up with something that it's not really something they need to be keeping up with, you know? Like, people got different levels of success for a reason. So why are you stressing yourself out? But the thing is, it's like you might start doing more than you can handle or pumping out more content when you're in the right headspace. You might sit and work on something for hours and hours without any real break. Maybe because you feel like you might become irrelevant if you take a break, or you feel like, oh, I can't take a break because I have to get this done, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe you start losing passion for what you originally enjoyed, and maybe you start to kind of dread it. And then you feel bad for not being able to maintain this constant level of productivity that, you know, the world kind of perpetuates. And in turn, if you aren't already at this point, you start to kind of neglect things around you. You start to neglect your self-care. You start to neglect your relationships. You start to neglect just basic things that you normally would do because you're too focused on building something and achieving success. But the thing is, it's like you gotta, it's kind of like a car, I guess. Like, you can't expect it to keep running if you don't take care of it. So think of yourself like that. And if this sounds familiar, then you aren't alone. I mean, we all do it. I hate to break it to you. Nobody's perfect. We're all human for a reason. But the thing is that social media is fake as fuck. My mom says this shit all the time. Every time I get to this point where I'm like, oh, why am I not as successful as this person? And blah, 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 blah. And then she'll look at me and be like, Kayla, you do realize that shit's fake, right? And I'm like, true. And she's always like, you know, it's just a cesspool of what people want to show you. And she's always like, it's everyone's best moments, best pictures, best this, right? So sometimes we're not always getting the full story. And they may look mad productive online. They may look hella successful online. And it may look like they have everything going for them. And the thing is, they actually could be struggling behind the scenes. Like, they could be struggling and you will never know. And it's like, the thing is, we don't know anyone's life, just like nobody knows your own life. And you aren't required to run yourself into the ground in order to achieve your dreams just because of what you see. It's all a facade. Okay, so trying to maintain an expectation based off what you see online is just gonna lead to nothing in the end, because you're trying to achieve some level of success that might not even be real. So it's just not gonna work. And the thing is, it's like, if you don't take the time to rest and give yourself the breaks you need, then you can't give your all to what you want to do. And it's impossible to be productive 24/7. We're not a machine. If we were a machine, the universe would have made us as such. This would be a robot apocalypse, but it's not. We are all human beings for a reason, and we all have our limitations. So accept that we all have limitations. Another water break, because talking makes my mouth dry, and I hate it. Lovely. Surprisingly, side note, normally when I'm recording these episodes, like in just regular audio, like I don't do videos, I struggle more. Right now I've been flying through this with ease, and I'm like, how? Normally I'm stumbling, but I'm not right now. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it in stride. Okay, before this changes. All right, so we're gonna get into my experiences with hustle culture. I don't know why I sounded so happy about that, because this is really toxic, low-key, but whatever. So honestly, this is something I struggle with a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So with me giving you advice, I'm not just saying this because like I want to regurgitate what everyone else says. I'm coming from a place of knowing, because I do the same thing. And I try to come from a place of knowing every time I give y'all advice on here, because I'm not trying to just regurgitate the same bullshit that everybody puts online, because you could just, I don't know, read someone else's stuff. So I try to give my little experiences, my little quips, my little remarks, you know, try to make it a little more interesting. But I would say from a creative aspect that I find myself struggling to produce content when I'm burnt out. And it usually comes from participating in hustle culture. Even if I don't realize it, like I find myself doing it and not even noticing I'm doing it until I'm like, girl, why are you so pressed? You act like you don't have all the time in the world to get to where you want to go. You're still doing the hard work. So why are you tripping, you know? So I'm one of those extremely ambitious people. Like if you see all the stuff I be doing, you're going to understand. Like the fact I got this podcast, and then I have my candle business, and then I work a lot. I do also have a job. I'm in school full time. Mind you, I'm starting summer classes in June, so that's another thing to add to the plate. And I also work for my mom on the side too. Like I do so much stuff that it's like, girl, how do you have time, right? It's like, what? So and trust me, all those things that I do, I have goals for them. So I'm one of those people. I'm going to achieve my goals. There's no doubt about it. And I tend to be one of those people where I prioritize my goals so much that I forget about everything else around me. And it kind of becomes an issue because I'll overwork myself to the ground in order to get there. And is that healthy? Not at all. Like, it is not healthy. And I know it's not healthy, but it's just, I don't know. But anyways, because I do all these things and whatever, I actually kind of dread doing anything creative at the end of the day because I don't have the energy for it. I don't pour all my energy into everything else. By the time I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I really should try to do something a little creative. I should really try to do this podcast episode different. Or, I should really try to write this blog post. Or, I should really try to work on my book. Or, I need to work on graphics for something. I don't want to do it. I'm tired, girl. So I'm like, I just want to sit here and not think about nothing. I want to sit here and watch TV, okay? That's all I want to do right now. That's it. I don't want to do nothing else, right? But every time I sit down and relax or watch a TV show or something like that, I just am thinking about all the time that I'm wasting. And if I don't get back to work soon, then I'm not going to succeed as fast as I want to. Or, but this needs to get done. And then it's like, but I really don't feel like doing it right now. But it needs to get done, you know? And it leads to me procrastinating a lot. So it's just a problem. And it's just this constant, never-ending cycle of like, I need a break, but I want to hustle harder. It's fucked up, right? So I always manage to burn myself out. Trust me, I think I complain about burnout at least once a month. And I tend not to prioritize myself first a lot. Like I tend to just take on more than I can handle. And then I regret it later. And I always just let everything else fall through the cracks. So what's funny is that I actually had this similar situation this week and last week. So as you all know, I did start a new job earlier this month, and I'm going to also quit that job in 2 weeks. I just put in my notice on Friday. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, I really wanted it to work out, but it's just not going to, so I'm having to quit that job and find something else. But anyways, that's not the point. The thing is, that job, it takes up a lot of my day, like a lot of my day. So by the time I come home, it's super late at night. I'm tired and I don't really have the energy or the time to really put into things I want to do because I'm exhausted. So I only really have the weekends to get everything I need to get done and still take care of myself and do what I need to do, right? So last week, I spent the whole time hanging out with friends, and as fun as it was to celebrate their birthdays and stuff, I just felt really drained. And I didn't tell nobody that because I was like, I'm not trying to ruin your day. I know I agreed to this, so how can you be mad? But the thing is, it's like, bro, I had so much other shit to do. Like, I had to finish last week's episode and record it. And I was like, I have to get this done. And I can't get it done when I'm too busy trying to do everything for everybody else. And I was just pissed off because I was like, I didn't even get to anything I said I was going to do this week. Because by the time it was like, okay, I might have some time, I had to go back to work. So I was like, girl, I didn't even get nothing done. And I was really pissed. And it just made it really hard to relax because I was like, I'm just thinking about all the stuff I had to do. All the stuff I didn't get to do. And I just knew there was just so much shit I had to finish. So this week was dedicated to that. And I finished some things I said I was going to finish, and I started a whole new project, which if you would have followed me on Instagram, which I told y'all in the beginning of the episode, if y'all would have followed me on Instagram, then you'd know that I'm going to start doing a poetry collection with basically all the poems. Of course, they're going to be selected because some of them are horrible, and I refuse to let it see the light of day. but it's going to just be a bunch of selected poems from 2012, so that's around the time I first started writing, to 2022. So I have a lot of unreleased poetry that most people haven't seen, so I think it'll be exciting. I already came up with the title. It's been really fun. I've been trying to compile everything. But anyways, I finally started that because I've been talking about that for like a couple weeks now. So I finally started that. I was really, 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 really happy. And, you know, so that made me feel good to do that. But I still was kind of running around for 2 out of my 3 days off. Okay. Because today's Monday. So this is my last day off before I have to go back tomorrow. And I'm sad about it. But anyways, it just left one day to really do what I needed to do. Clean my room, fold laundry, record this episode, drop an application off somewhere. Like, it just, you know, basic stuff that I need to do, right? So the thing is, right now, my mom is in the middle of this huge order to Germany, okay? Like I said, she owns a hair care brand. She's been doing it for like 7 years. I'll link her Instagram and stuff down below. But she's doing this big ass order, right? And she needs all the help she can get. And I haven't really been I haven't really been able to help as much because I've been working like pretty much all week. And then by the time the weekend rolls around, I've been probably doing other stuff, or we just haven't had the time. So, you know, I figured, well, I mean, it's Monday. Yeah, okay, it's kind of my last day, but if you really need the help, because she's been talking about how she has a lot still to do. I was like, if you really need the help, I don't mind helping. Like, I can come by the warehouse at some point and, you know, I can just help you. And I figured, you know, I've done quite a bit of stuff this weekend. I got to what I need to get to. I think it's fine if I take a minute, right? I think it's okay. And, you know, I felt kind of guilty because I haven't really been, you know, around as much. So, you know, I told her, you know, I don't mind. And then she was like, nah. And I said, what do you mean no? You just were talking about how you needed help. And she was like, no, Kayla. She's like, you've been working way too hard the past couple weeks and you deserve a break. You need a minute. Like, because I've been telling her how it's just been stressful as fuck lately and I've been overwhelmed and whatever. And she was just like, you deserve a break and that there's plenty of time. So don't even worry about it, bro. You're good. So I took her advice and I slept until 8 today. And I know to y'all that might be like, girl, that's still early. What are you talking about? But I wake up at like 6 or 7 nowadays because of this work schedule. So 8 is sleeping in for me. And it felt really nice. And then I stayed in bed for 30 minutes watching TikTok, scrolling through Instagram, my usual. But I got up around 9 and it felt nice to just kind of laze around a little bit. And I finally did the laundry that's been piling up in my room for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm so excited. Like I've been trying to do it for a minute, but side note, I don't know if anybody else is like this, where if your room is like completely trashed, I don't know if you're like this, where like it's almost too overwhelming to clean, so you just don't clean it and it just gets worse. That's how it's been for me. Like I just was looking at the mess and I was just like, I don't even know where to start. So I just haven't done it. So today I just said, you know what, let me start with laundry. That's easy. And it made me feel slightly better to see that some of it was picked up off the floor. I still have a lot to do, yes, and I'm gonna actually go clean this after I'm done with this episode, but it made me feel a lot better knowing that I at least started it, right? So it felt good. And even better, I sat down to finish this blog post because I was like halfway through and then I finished it this morning. So super excited. And honestly, doing that made me realize I needed a break. I really did, because I've been feeling just like overwhelmed, stuck, mad about not being able to do what I need to do. And it's like, I guess I kept feeling like I needed to please everybody. So that's why I kept saying yes to hanging out with people, even though I was like, girl, I'm tired, or man, I really need to do this, but like, I don't want to say no because it's your birthday, or I already agreed, so I don't want to be an asshole. But the thing is, it's like I kept regretting it later. Like I wasn't mad I did it, but I was mad I did it, if that makes sense. Like I didn't mind hanging out with you, but it's like I didn't even get to what I needed to do. I didn't even take care of myself first. So it's just not giving, you know? And basically what I'm trying to say here is that you have your whole life to work and you have your whole life to hustle. And being successful is great, but the thing is, it's like if you're burning yourself out in order to do it, then it's not gonna work out long term. And that is where hustle culture is a problem for me, because it does not promote healthy hustling. It just promotes toxic hustling. if that makes any sense. And it makes people feel guilty for taking a break. But the thing is, you need a break. So don't feel guilty for doing that. And no one is going to think that you're a failure for prioritizing yourself first. At least I'm not going to think you're a failure. I'm going to think, wow, I'm proud of you for taking care of yourself. That's good. You need to. Like, it's important. If you don't take care of yourself, you cannot do anything you want to do. Because then you're going to be sick and broke down and shit, and it's just not going to be fun, right? So this is something I'm trying to just keep in mind a little bit more. And I think as the year progresses, I do want to implement this rule a little bit more, that I take at least a day to rest. If I have that day to rest, I'm going to take that day to rest. Even if I do a little bit of stuff here and there, I should at least just take that time to chill out and vibe and not be upset if I don't get to everything I need to get to, because I have all the time in the world to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to keep forcing myself to do things I'm not in the mood to do. And that's going creatively and personally. Like, creatively, if I don't feel like doing some shit, I'm not going to do it. And if personally I don't feel like doing it, it's okay to say no. Because my mom was even telling me, she was like, Kayla, it's okay to set boundaries with people and say no. And I'm like, wow, look at you using my advice. Because I tell her that all the time, and then she flipping it back on me. And I was like, I don't know how to feel about that, but okay. Because I have a hard time saying no sometimes. Bit of a people pleaser. It sucks. It sucks. As stubborn as I am, I'm also a people pleaser, and I'm working on it, but it takes time. But anyways, it don't matter. If I'm falling a little bit behind, and I'm putting this quotations, or I'm not hustling hard enough, who gives a shit? At least I know I'm doing what I can do, and I'm taking care of myself first, and I know I'm not going to be like some of these people who bust their ass for so long and then just get so burnt out at the end. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person at all. So life's too short. Fuck. Enjoy living life. You could die tomorrow. And then what? You can't take any of this with you when you die. So fuck. Enjoy your time while you have it. Water break once again, because I am thirsty. Awesome. I done had to drink water like 3 times already. It's terrible. Anyways. So, we're on to the end, and I'm sad because I'm enjoying myself. But how do you keep yourself from falling down the rabbit hole? Okay? How do you keep yourself from getting wrapped up in it? And whether this is the first time or the 100th time, I'm sure some of these tips might help you kind of break out that cycle. So number 1, stop comparing yourself to others. I said this in the imposter syndrome episode and the creative burnout episode. I don't remember. Y'all can scroll back and let me know, but I'm pretty sure I did. So I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Comparison is the thief of joy. Ever since I heard that quote, changed my life. Because I realized, like, comparing yourself to other people really is a waste of fucking time. And all it's going to make you do is make you feel inferior about your own shit. And it's like hustle culture literally thrives off of people being burnt out and being so obsessed with comparing themselves to other people that they burn themselves out. So by doing that, you're just feeding the beast. It's just not healthy. Like, mentally, it's just not healthy. So understand that you are exactly where you need to be, and anything you desire will come in divine time. Okay? Patience is key. I'm struggling with that too, but patience is key. Okay? Do not, and I mean do not, let social media fool you into thinking that you aren't doing enough, because I'm here to tell you that you're doing enough. So don't even worry about it. You're doing fine. I promise. Number 2, take a chill pill. Take a break. If by now this has not been drilled in your head, I'm saying it again. Take a break. Rest is necessary. And whatever makes you feel relaxed is what you should do when your body is telling you that you need that time. Because if you do not actively take that time to rest, the universe will make you rest. And I don't think you want the universe to be a parent to you today. So just do what you need to do. Okay? Please. It don't take that long. All right, number 3, time management is key. I cannot tell you how many times my mom has drilled the concept of time management into my brain. Okay, it's been quite a bit, which is probably why I'm able to juggle so many things and be a straight A student and work. That's probably how, I don't know. Somehow I managed to figure out how to do time management, even though it feels like nothing is going how it's supposed to. I feel like half the time I'm just running on fumes, running on vibes. Cause I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing any of this. If you ask me, I don't know. I just do. And somehow it works for me and I succeed. So I don't know. But anyways, it is important to be productive so that you can get things done. But it is also important to carve out time for yourself. And you have to make that decision based off your schedule, because everyone is going to look different. But I found that having a routine does help. And I actually do implement to-do lists. I don't know if y'all do, but you should. It's very helpful. I like making them because, one, I can just see exactly how much stuff I have to do. And when I cross it off, it makes me feel accomplished. Like, oh, you did something today. You know what I mean? It makes me feel good knowing you got there today. And I don't really stress out if I don't finish everything on my list. It's kind of whatever. But at least if I can finish some of it, then I feel good. And it just makes me feel less overwhelmed and like I'm managing my time a lot better. All right, number 4. Also, if you heard that just now, it's the curtain beating against my house. Because my mom, she decorates the patio all the time. And she has like these little like curtains everywhere. And sometimes when it's windy out, because today it's raining, it just hits the side of the house. So if you hear that, I apologize. So no big deal. But anyways, number 4. Make something that's just for you. And this is for my creatives out here. I think I mentioned this in one episode. I do not remember which one. Again, if you search for it and find it, thank you. But if not, it's fine. I think that you should have projects that are public if you're planning to make a career out of this shit like I am. I have several projects that are public. Not gonna lie. But I think it is important that you should have things that are just for you and you only, that you don't share with nobody else, but that's just your thing, right? And maybe that's creating art that you want to create, or maybe writing a story for fun, or maybe that means baking in your free time. Because I know this girl I follow on Instagram, she writes most of the time, but she does art projects and she bakes all the time. She doesn't always share it. I mean, sometimes she does, but she doesn't always share it. It's just one of her things that she does. And I think it's important to have a hobby that's not specifically attached to anything, so that it can be your safe space when you're overwhelmed with other things or overwhelmed with your main source of income. I think it's good to have something that outside of that, you know what I mean? It's very important. And I know for me, I like to kind of write random short stories sometimes, not always, but sometimes. And I like to make little collages in my free time, but I don't share that on Instagram. I don't share that anywhere. It's just my thing that I do. So you just have to find something that's just for you. And I think it kind of would help with any feelings of burnout or feelings of hustling. Because I feel like hustle culture really is kind of rooted in capitalism. And I feel like people feel this need to constantly monetize everything they do. And I think that is what leads to this problem. And you do not have to monetize everything you do. Okay? You don't. Fuck capitalism. All my niggas hate capitalism. Okay? just don't. It's fine. You're good. Some things should just be the way they are. And the last thing is, let the universe handle it. Okay? Stop stressing. Keep doing what you're doing and the universe will reward you accordingly. I promise you. And the thing is, you cannot control everything that happens in your life. So just let it play out the way it's supposed to. Promise. I promise it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. So what are my final thoughts on this? And hustle culture really is not the best thing. I mean, I think it's cool in moderation, but I feel like because it doesn't really promote any breathing room, that's where it kind of fucks up at. Like, you need that breathing room. You need that rest in order to really be your best self and to really put your best foot forward. And if you don't have that, then it's not going to work out. Like, constant productivity isn't a natural thing. If it was a natural thing, we'd be able to do it, right? So it's not going to happen. So yeah, that's really it. That's the whole episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video podcast. I mean, I'm going to put a poll down. I know Spotify does this. I don't know about anywhere else. Like, honestly, the video part of this is only going to be on YouTube and only on Spotify. Everywhere else is just going to be normal audio. But if you're listening on Spotify, I'm going to put a poll up and I need you to let me know. Do you like this or not? Because if you like this, great. I'll keep doing it going forward. But if you hate this, then let me know and I'll stop. So yeah, that'd be really great. That's really it. I have nothing else to say here. So just stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gorgeous. And I will see you next week. Maybe with a video podcast. Maybe not. We will see. So yeah. Bye.